Before the mind dresses itself, before thought begins, there is only this: no concept, no position, no meaning to defend. The dressing begins with ideas, with roles, with stories the mind uses to recognize itself. A single thought appears, then another. The mind revises the flow, arranges it, interprets it, polishes it. This revision is the dressing, the attempt to form someone who is thinking. Identification is not an act, it is the moment the mind follows a thought and calls it its own. Suffering begins in that quiet moment, when a simple appearance is mistaken for a center. The image forms the moment the mind revises what it already knows: a face in the mirror, a name, a history. And from these familiar reflections, a sense of me appears, woven from nothing but recognition itself. Yet this me has no knowledge of the foundation from which it arises. The very presence, the living essence, is here now. But the mind mistakes it for the image. It only revises the story, traces the outline of memory, and calls that revision me. Life itself cannot be passed along, cannot be inherited, cannot be known through memory. Only the mind moves through its story and identification forms, blind to the presence that is always alive. Without that movement, without revising, without following, without organizing, identification cannot form. Nothing attaches, nothing crystallizes into me. Hell begins there, in that quiet, subtle moment, when the mind assumes a center exists and suffering arises. Because life itself is already holding itself. Gravity, air, wind, none of it is created by anyone. All suffering emerges from the assumption that someone is living, that someone is holding, controlling, or managing life. Silence is what remains when the dressing falls. The dressing falls the moment the movement of mind is no longer followed. The thought, the revision, the story all lose their grip, because what is present behind the movement does not mistake itself for the thought. It is not forced, it is not achieved, it is simply revealed. Like clouds parting to let the sky shine. No one folds it, no one chooses it. It is the natural consequences of seeing the mechanism of thought, the movement of identification, and the illusion of a center. It is not running away, not abandonment, not avoidance of life. Where silence is, there is nothing to fight, nothing to control, nothing divided. Judgment has no place to stand. Correction has no center to move from. Conflict cannot form because there is no one taking part. When the dressing falls, the one who suffers fall with it. Without a center, there is nowhere for experience to land. No suffering, no fear, no birth, no death. And neither is there anyone to hold joy, happiness, or pleasure. They are the other side of the same coin, dependent on the center. All conflict, division, control, and friction arises naturally from the mind, from the insistence on a center. Without that center, nothing collides, nothing resists, nothing divides, nothing is born, nothing can die. That is not a reward, not a gain, not a loss. It is simply the freedom that appears when the movement of mind is fully seen. Words may appear, but they are only movement in the same stillness, not instructions, not positions, not answers. This is why the ancient ones were silent, not to teach silence, not to demonstrate it, but because nothing else remained. In the undressing, everything unnecessary falls away. The mechanism of becoming is seen through. The habit of following thought loses its authority. And when thought is not followed, it is natural, effortless, to see that nothing is left to be bound. What stands is simple, whole, without direction, without effort, without center. Silence shines because nothing covers it.